everybody, my name is Benjamin Bloom and I have just witnessed Ipswich Town 0, Fleetwood Town 1 on a monumentally depressing night for Ipswich Town and their fans and the club in general. I spent a lot of the game looking up at the Ipswich Town on the top of the stand and the flag, and feeling very, very sad tonight about my football club, relegated down to the third tier for the first time in, I don't know what it is, 50 odd years, someone will correct me with the number. We went to Accrington last season, lost in the FA Cup. Here we are at home to Fleetwood, on a level with Fleetwood, and they've come here, they've won, and they're better than us, and they're a club on the up, and we are so sadly a club on a horrible downward slope. 6th defeat in 8 games, just since now December time, late November, December time. A really poor team, poor performances, no wins, no goals, not a lot of hope really, and yeah, as you can see, I'm very down. This feels quite significant, but anyway, let's go into the game and we'll do the general state of everything at the end. Ipswich with 6 changes here. Paul Lambert, I'm sure, will argue that they were enforced, but this really had the air of a couple of games I can remember. Paul Hurst really throwing his team selection up in the air against Middlesbrough down here, and you just can't make 6 changes with League One level players and expect them to just you know, slot in and play beautiful football when there is no discernible pattern of play, and has not been all season. Same shape, different players. So Holly in goal, it's Wilson, Chambers and Earl at the back. So Wolfenden not in the team tonight. Danassian and Garber are the wing backs. Danassian over Edwards at right wing back. A midfield 3 of Brett McGavin making his debut, the youngster. Andre Dazelle, who's been out of the scene I think since an EFL Cup game in early January. John Nolan in there with those two, so very unlikely midfield 3. Will Keane partnered up top by Alan Judge. We tried Alan Judge up top in the defeat at Accrington early in the season, so a real hodgepodge of a team. Yes, Norwood's injured, yes, Jackson's suspended, yes, Downs is suspended, but a strange looking one nonetheless. Fleetwood unchanged from their draw at Sunderland. Fleetwood in really lovely form, and they'll be into the top 6 now under Jerry Barton tonight. As I say, one club moving upwards, one club moving downwards. Cairns in goal, it's Coyle, Suter, who we're going to make look like Virgil van Dijk tonight. Gibson, who is on loan from Everton, linked with Ipswich, but they plumped for Josh Earl instead. Andrew is the left back. Callum Connolly, once on loan at Ipswich Town, I think offered to Paul Hurst to be signed permanently, but he passed that one up. Paul Coots, ex of Sheffield United, in the midfield, and Glenn Whelan, you can still find him in central midfield. Burns down the right, Barry Mackay down the left, Madden, the danger, up top. First 6 or 7 minutes, Ipswich are okay. Dazelle with a couple of balls into the channels. There's an early corner. Ipswich slightly edging those first exchanges, already giving away a few niggly fouls though, and Fleetwood get their first territory on 9. Mackay's blocked out from distance, and some evidence of the ball being moved quite nicely, and some particularly Coots and Whelan already looking comfortable on the ball. Wide players waiting out there a threat, and Madden lively in the centre at the top there. On 11 we get a fairly significant moment, because Callum Connolly in the central midfield, he takes some kind of knock. I assume it's a nosebleed or a concussion, something of that nature. He comes to the side for quite a lengthy sort of stoppage. He's a tough player, Callum Connolly, Scouser. And it just won't stop bleeding, and he pulls off his shirt, which is covered in blood, and on a cold night in Ipswich stands on the touchline topless for a while, and it's not happening. Either the bleeding's just not stopping, or they can't stem it, or there must be some kind of concussion problem here. So Connolly goes off, and Ched Evans comes on, and Joey Barton takes that opportunity. By the way, he's on a suspension, so he's up in the stand on a walkie-talkie. We can see the walkie-talkie with one of the assistants. He's going to match up with Paul Lambert and go 3-5-2 here. So Evans comes in. He's the extra forward. He's going to play alongside Madden. Mackay kind of tucks in to central midfield with Whelan and Coots. Burns then drops back into a wing-back position. Andrew moves forward into a wing-back position, and Coyle, the right-back, comes across to join Suter and Gibson in a back three. And the midfield roles are kind of reversed as well. You did have Whelan and Coots sitting with Connolly pressing. Now you've got Whelan sitting with Coots and Mackay pushing on, and that whether that was fortuitous for the injury or Joey Barton spots that, does actually work well for Fleetwood. They're going to come into the game now, and the atmosphere is starting to get very, very flat inside Portman Road. On 28, Ipswich get away with one. Lucky here. Great ball from Coots inside the fullbacks. There's always that gap when you play through at the back. Mackay is away, low cross. Chambers cuts out the near post, smashes off the outside of his own post, gets away with one there. 33, it's kind of started to turn in the ground now. Josh Earl steps forward. He's got no options in central midfield. He turns back, he ponders, the ball gets given away, and the boos have started inside the stadium. I could sense coming to the game that there's a sense this could turn tonight, and it did. 40th minute, here comes the Fleetwood goal. They're going to pick off Town. Young McGavin initially kind of gets stuck on the ball and gets robbed. It's worked out to Mackay, and it's a nice early put through by Mackay. Remember, he's no longer playing wide, he's just tucked in, and he's going to use this position now. Evans makes the run, Mackay makes the pass. They're in sync with each other, but I have to say, as this ball is played through, it looks about a 50-50. Evans has got work to do, Chambers is along with him. They come together as Evans receives the ball, and he does well, and he works Chambers, he gets him on the turn, shifts it left, and he's got past the Ipswich captain now, and he's in on goal. Chambers has let him through. Evans hits the shot low with the left foot. Holly is a big guy, it's along the floor, so he goes with his left foot, flings the foot out, and it pings up and flies into the corner, and Fleetwood have the lead. Nice ball through by Mackay. I think it's about 50-50. I think Chambers should do better, maybe Holly should do better, but he's got to see him outside, and no way he should be scoring from there. But Ched Evans has scored a lot of goals over a lot of years, and he's got another one here, and really an already deflated atmosphere just drops off a little bit more. 1-0 Fleetwood. Danassian actually gets in behind from a Dazelle pass a couple of minutes later, but the team's now shot of confidence. They, you know, the ball is a hot potato. They look like they don't want it, and the murmurs and the boos and the jeering has already started. The half-time whistle goes, and there's a bit of a sense of numbness. I went downstairs to chat with a friend who's a couple of decades my senior, and I said, this has got to be it, hasn't it? This has got to be the worst it's got, you know, down in the third tier, season petering out, not much of a playoff hope, and Fleetwood coming here, flitting into a new formation, and I think the big thing I noticed in the first half as we went on was how Fleetwood adapted to the new formation, how high they put their wing backs, more brave on the ball, more rotation in midfield, more confidence, and it wasn't a surprise when they scored. That's the real sad thing here. In we go to the second half, and Brett McGavin, I don't know what this does for his confidence. He was drowning a little bit in that midfield against Whelan and Coots and Mackay, so he only lasts 45 minutes on his debut. I'm sure Paul Lambert will say he's getting him out of the line of fire, so maybe to protect him. In comes Freddie Sears. Alan Judge drops into midfield. 47, Garbutt. Free kick here, recycled. Nolan, Judge, Dazelle onto Sears on the half volley, and it deflects wide. They get the block on there from 10 yards. Some sense, although we saw this in the home game here last time out against Oxford, just 5 minutes after half time, and then cools back down again. Long daisy cutter from Coyle, easy one for Holly there. 56, Madden to Mackay to Evans to Burns, low cross, good football. Fleetwood cut out by Earl on the near post. Corner comes in. Holly loses it as it comes over, and it's just flipped over the top by Madden. We're starting to get the gallows humour and the sarcasm and the jeering. Whether it helps or not, I don't know, but fans in this situation, I think, have a right to vent in whatever way they desire, as long as it's not hateful. But Suter is winning everything. Huge centre half, but Beans, the confidence has gone. No one wants the ball in midfield. Not that we've played through midfield here since since Mick kind of stopped that sort of thing and the balls went into the channels. But every time it goes long and Will Keane is beaten in the air by Suter, a big cheer goes up, and lo and behold, 2 minutes later, Will Keane comes off. Tyrese Simpson, another youngster, comes on. Lambert throwing it against the wall here and hoping something sticks. Some jeers for Will Keane again. I don't know if that helps, I don't know if that's fair, but again, fans have a right to voice their frustration, and every right to. Chance here, Judge, free kick. This is the best it's going to get for Ipswich. Wilson, point blank in there, it gets cleared out. Nolan on the half volley, controls it fairly well, and it's saved well by Cairns there. Best chance of the game for Ipswich. Spoiler alert, keep watching though. Chambers, high foot on Evans. That had been sizzling up for a while. Evans had been in Chambers here. Chambers takes the yellow. Andrew in off the left here, low right footer. They're happy to hold their lead now though. Fleetwood Holy gathers that one. Madden stops Earl. He was quite good on the dark art, slowing things down, poking dead balls away and whatnot. Madden. Madden takes the yellow. They're going to try and shore things up now. Sowerby comes in for Mackay just to solidify that central midfield. Ted Bishop on 74 comes in. I think nominally he was going to play the number 10. So you now have a midfield triangle 3 of Alan Judge and Andre Dazelle with Ted Bishop ahead of them. Really, oh God, when you're looking at the balance of this now, Lambert's just getting anyone on that he can here, and any type of strategy. Oh dearie me. Judge, free kick here, punched, cleared. Dazelle volleys that one into the ground. Cairns makes the save again. All regulation stuff for Cairns in goal, just apart from that first chance I spoke about where Wilson's right in close from Judge's free kick. Dinasian, Wilson centres here. Simpson, this is good. Rolls his man, hits the shot, can't find the corner. Cairns saves again. Good turn by young Simpson in there. More shoring up here. Thorvaldsen on for Coots. And what Barton seems to do now is you're just going to drop the wing backs in. So he's got a row of 3, a row of 4. Thorvaldsen just drops in behind Ched Evans up front, and Madden does the same. So it's kind of a 3-4-2-1, but defensively they can do a lot with that without the ball. It's the right substitution and it works fine. 94, we've got 5 minutes of stoppage time. Late corner, Judge Garbutt takes the corner, Judge half volleys it over. So yeah, very, very depressing, very sad today. I don't know if I'm giving it more significance than needs to be. Maybe this is the future for Ipswich for the forthcoming year, that they will be playing at this level and they will be up against sort of, dare I say, progressive clubs like Fleetwood with a kind of upward momentum and a surge and a young manager. And, you know, it is what it is, but it feels sad. It feels that since the McCarthy playoff year, I know I'm going big picture on this now, you know, what was there, a 7th and a 16th and a 12th, and then relegation under Paulhurst. And Lambert since he's been here, has always had the fans on side, but I don't know whether I'm speaking past tense now and he's lost them, or whether he's losing them, but he's certainly losing the battle to get Ipswich in the playoffs, because 6 defeats in 8, and everybody else is picking up points at a much greater rate than Ipswich. I mean, some people will probably laugh that I'm mentioning it, but it needs to be mentioned. Their kind of playoff position. Only game in League One tonight. I think Fleetwood are now up into sort of 5th or 6th or something. Fleetwood are winning, Pompey are winning, Oxford are winning, Sunderland are winning, Coventry are winning, Rotherham are winning. Only maybe Wickham have dropped off a little bit, but it's really not looking good for Ipswich this season. And then you start to look at the bigger picture and where Paul Lambert is going with all of this. And I've spoken ruefully all season about a pattern of play, and sadly I cannot see one. In the first half it was Andre Dezelle clipping a couple of balls into the corners, and then look, it must have been hard for them to play in the atmosphere tonight, but one thing informs the other, doesn't it? The poorer the players are, the tetchier it gets. They've been poor for a while. When it gets tetchy, their confidence goes, and they just wanted, I think they just wanted out of it. Their body language, I was looking at the guys, 11 ghosts on the pitch to end the game there. I don't have anything positive to say about the performance at all. Good luck to Brett McGavin. He's come in and out on 45 minutes, and Tyrese Simpson. You don't like to see young players tarred by this nastiness that we're getting at the moment. Well done to Fleetwood, well played. Thought they deserved the win. I thought, like I said, Whelan and Coots, loads of experience in midfield, comfortable. Madden, lively. Evans will do a job for you up top in these divisions, won't he? Adapted to the formation, wing backs high, brave on the ball, Suter heading everything away, Cairns in goal, made saves when he needed to. That sounds like a good football team to me, and they're on a really good run. And good luck to them. I mean, they had 88 fans down here in this 30,000 plus capacity stadium. So yeah, very numb, very sad and depressed tonight. Playoffs look a long way away. Lambert looks like he's losing the fans. Chance against Evans. Ipswich players jeered, boos during the game. Horrible night here at Portman Road. Get your comments in, agree, disagree. Apologies for my tone. I've just kind of sat for the whole of the second half, just a bit numb now, thinking about the reality of, more seasons in League One. Is the current manager working out? Are the fans now turning on him? They're against the owner. We need something nice, something positive, and there really doesn't seem a lot. Maybe I'll get something from M&S on the services. Maybe I can think about that. Thank you very much for watching. Please get your comments in. Perk me up. Tell me something positive, or if you agree with me, then great that you agree, but how depressing on what we're agreeing on. Thank you everybody for watching, if you stayed through that depression fest. It was Ipswich Town 0, Fleetwood 1. See you soon.